The battle hots up. Will it be Subaru's Kenneth Eriksson, Carlos Sainz driving a Ford Escort, or Tommy Mäkinen in a Mitsubishi? It's now only these three drivers who can win one of the greatest prizes in motorsport, the 1996 FIA World Rally Championship. After the team's longest journey of the year, the skyline of Perth in Western Australia was a welcome sight. Round 7 of the World Rally Championship, the Rally Australia, began with the now traditional super special spectator stage at Langley Park in the centre of Perth, where the action can be explosive. Perth, the capital of Western Australia on the coast of the Indian Ocean, once again provided the base for this year's rally. Apart from 2 visits to Langley Park, Leg 1's 11 stages were all to the south of the city. First into the forests was the reigning world champion, Colin McRae, in the leading Subaru Impreza. His teammate in car number 2 was Kenneth Eriksson. Championship leader Tommy Mäkinen knew that victory in Australia would virtually guarantee him the World Drivers' title.
Soraa, piru pitkä vaseneri kiristyy pahasti lopussa. Heti lyhyt oikein eri sumppuun. Nyppy oikealle täys, 100 hyppy keskeltä eri plus.
The second Mitsubishi Lancer was in the hands of Richard Burns and his co-driver Robert Reed.
See? Flat left, minus over crest, 50, crest, 40, turn 90 right minus.
The Ford team, as usual, were running a pair of escorts. Belgium's Bruno Thierry was in second place after stage 2, while team leader Carlos Sainz led the rally. The first time Ford had held the top 2 places on a World Championship rally since the days of the Sierra. On stage 3, a charging Sainz runs a little wide on one corner, unfortunately just where a local television cameraman happened to be standing. Happily, there were no injuries, although the camera, worth tens of thousands of dollars, was destroyed.
Carlos, very slippery that last stage, was it?
Last stage, not much. The previous one was very slippery. I went off in junction and I hit the cameraman. I don't know.
Nobody damaged, nobody hurt?
I don't think so. Only the camera and the car a little bit.
By the end of the day and after the second visit to the Langley Park stage, Mäkinen led by 37 seconds from Sainz. Yet Eriksson was only 3 seconds behind the Spaniard, so day 2 would see an early battle for second place. The second leg's 8 stages were all southeast of Perth, the only exception being the third and final visit to Langley Park. A 6 a.m. start saw the cars heading off towards the massive Bunnings Forest, home to 4 of the day's stages. The dark Australian skies, unfortunately, meant rain and more rain. Tommy Mäkinen and his co-driver Seppo Harjanne were the first to sample Bunnings in the rain. They'd been warned about the famous Bunnings water splash, now much deeper and wider than usual. As they approach, Mäkinen slows right down almost to walking pace and keeps to the right-hand side of the road. To the delight of the huge crowd, the Mitsubishi made it through. At the stage finish, though, Tommy's far from happy with the organisers' decision to run the stage. Just as in Greece and Argentina, controversy was about to strike the Rally Australia.
Tommy, are the conditions improving at all?
No, not at all. It's completely stupid to keep this last left-hand corner in a rally because it's completely too dangerous. There's at least 60-70 centimeters water, and it's a too big risk go flat out over the water because it's nearly 30 meters long.
For Carlos Sainz, the water splash would be very different. Despite receiving the same warning as Mäkinen from the marshals at the stage start, Sainz approaches the water a lot faster and takes a more central line, with disastrous results. Viewed from the onboard camera, the water splash was, if anything, even more spectacular. As the marshals rush to push Sainz clear, his co-driver Luis Moya radios the team with the bad news.
We went through the water splash, which was enormous, much bigger even than we expected. All the water was over the car and stopped, and now we are trying to push with the marshals to get off the river.
Despite the help he receives from the marshals, the car still refuses to start, and Sainz must have realised that unless he can get going again, his rally and his bid for the world title are over. 2 minutes behind Sainz was the Subaru of Kenneth Eriksson. Would he too fall victim to the Bunnings water splash? Despite keeping to the right, just as Mäkinen had done, Kenneth tries to drive through too quickly, and the water claims its second victim. By now, Sainz is out of the car and is watching events in disbelief. If the next car through also stops, surely the organisers will have no option but to stop the stage, and he and Eriksson will be able to continue. The flying Scotsman Colin McRae is next, and he approaches at speed. Luis Moya, standing on the right, tries to flag down the Subaru, and McRae's own gravel crew are on the left, urging him to take the right-hand line through the water, to no avail. Colin's father, the former British champion Jimmy McRae, helps push the car clear of the water. Luckily, McRae keeps the engine running and is able to drive past his teammates Impreza and Sainz's escort out of the stage. By now, Sainz is getting angrier by the minute and can't believe the situation. His teammate Bruno Thierry was also stranded. The water pumping out of his engine tells its own story, and a series of hurried meetings eventually result in the organisers deciding to stop the stage and reroute those competitors unable to get through. After all, Sainz, Eriksson and the others were able to continue the rally, relieved that the water hadn't caused any lasting damage. As the cars headed back to Perth, Mäkinen led the rally by over a minute.
Carlos and Kenneth will go flat out, of course. So I think 1.5 minutes is enough.
Leg 3's 8 special stages to the east of Perth would decide not only the rally, but also possibly one of the 2 World Championships, with 2 rounds still to go. After the events in Bunnings, would water again play a part? All eyes were now on the battle for second place. With Mäkinen seemingly cruising to an easy victory, Sainz needed to finish ahead of Eriksson to prevent Tommy from taking the title. Carlos started the final day 31 seconds behind Kenneth and slowly but surely started to catch the Swede as the day wore on. Eriksson could do nothing, it seemed, to safeguard second place, no matter how quickly he drove.
Vänster 5 plus 2 gånger, 70, med gupp och vatten. Vänster 5, i höger 5, 60, vänster 4 plus kort.
By the time Kenneth reached the last stage, the gap was just 15 seconds. By now, Tommy Mäkinen had relaxed a little, although he still appeared to drive through the last stage like a man possessed. His 5th win of the year was now inevitable.
Pitkä vaseneri kiristyy ja kapenee 150. Hyppy pitkä oikea eri kiristyy vähän. 50 nyppy vasen laita. Jatkuu lyhyt oikea eri plus risteys ylös. 30. Kölkyn sanoo pojat. Well done, well done.
Ei ne ainakaan ohitus, se on varma.
The rally victory then went to Mäkinen, but would he also claim the Drivers' World Championship? For once, the answer lay not with Tommy's Mitsubishi, but with the car behind him, Kenneth Eriksson's Subaru, and the car behind that, the Ford Escort of the twice-champion Carlos Sainz. Inside, he must have been shaking, yet Mäkinen was outwardly relaxed as he walked back to see what the times were. Ericsson arrived next. His time for the stage, 17 minutes and 15 seconds. If Sainz clocked 17 minutes or less, he would grab second place and the championship would stay alive. 2 minutes later and we knew. Sainz broke the timing beam at the end of the stage and the waiting drivers and journalists held their breath. Sainz's face, though, told the story. 17 minutes and 4 seconds his time. He'd failed by just those 4 seconds.
Was it enough?
It was enough, no problem. You will be confirmed as champion.
It's unbelievable feeling. It was one of the most hardest pressure today, all the day, but still quite easy to drive. I couldn't need to drive too fast, pressing too fast, but still a lot of pressure all day.
Mäkkinen's winning margin was 1 minute and 17 seconds from Kenneth Eriksson, whose second place was enough to give him victory in the Asia-Pacific Championship. Sainz finished third, McRae fourth and Burns fifth. To confirm the drivers' championship positions, Mäkinen with 115 points is the new world champion. Sainz has 74 points, while Eriksson now has 66. The Manufacturers Series, however, is still wide open. Mitsubishi still lead, although the gap is now just 9 points. Ford is still third with 220 points. A handshake from Seppo Harjanne confirms Mäkinen's amazing fifth win of 1996. There's never been a world championship where one driver has won such a high percentage of events, and Tommy still has a chance of breaking Didier Auriol's record of 6 wins in one season. With one championship decided, the attention now focuses on the series for manufacturers. Round 8, the penultimate round, is the San Remo Rally in northern Italy. The only mixed surface event in the championship features 2 days on gravel and 1 day on tarmac. An ideal opportunity for Tommy Mäkinen to display his thrilling talents as the newly crowned World Rally Champion. Our report from Italy is only a week away.